and welcome to Benue Television News at 7. I am Jude Alaki. The headlines: Benue State Government to upgrade Aparaku Stadium to international standards. Kaduna State Government imposes 24-hour curfew on Kaduna and Zaria metropolis. And on the international scene, Mali severs diplomatic ties with Ukraine over Kyiv's alleged role in deadly attack. The Benue State government is to upgrade the Aparaku Stadium to international standards to host FIFA matches. Governor Hyacinth earlier made this known during an unscheduled inspection visit to the stadium to ascertain the pace and quality of work being carried out on the facility. Emmanuel Akula completes the story.
The benefits of sports development and unity of any nation cannot be overemphasized. In line with its desire to effect development in Benue, the present administration in the state is giving much attention to this sector to also achieve the objective of unity and to boost the economy of the state. Renovation work at the Aparaku Stadium is progressing speedily to ensure the state-owned football club, Lobby Stars, have access to the stadium for their upcoming football games. Governor Hyacinth acknowledges the stadium as one of the few remaining structures of the first civilian governor of the state that must be sustained in the interest of the state. He assures of reviving the edifice with modern facilities to meet FIFA standards, explaining that such projects are in line with his administration's vision of revamping moribund industries to boost the economy of the state. He hopes that when completed, the stadium will facilitate sports tourism and boost revenue generation to the state.
I intend to bring back the Lobby Star boys back here in a matter of weeks, and that's why the contractor is working both day and night, ensuring that he keeps word with what we say. And what you see here, it's by international standard. This is the FIFA standard. So monitoring very closely to see that not an iota of it is missed. So I'm quite joyous and very impressed.
Mr. Ezekiel of Money Michel Sports Facility Construction Limited, a FIFA match agent, is the constructor handling renovation of the stadium. He reveals that the renovation work will be completed within the time frame and according to world-class specifications to meet international standards that will be certified by FIFA to host international football events.
Well, as you can see, the athletic track substructure have to be reconstructed. The pitch here, I did it 15 years ago. We're repairing all the broken pipes. 2 months time, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to get the stadium ready. We're reconfiguring the dressing room completely to have 5 toilets, 11 showers. We're fixing the water system of the stadium completely. New athletic track, all athletic approved. Proper substructure for athletic track. Our pitch is top.
The renovation work on the 10,000 capacity stadium is expected to be completed within 2 months. Emmanuel Akula, Benue Television News, Makudi.
Governor Hyacinth earlier has assured his Chief of Staff, Paul Biam, of justice from the attacks on his property in Ukum local government area. Governor earlier gave the assurance while addressing the media shortly after paying a visit to the Chief of Staff, Mr. Biam, at his Makudi residence. Correspondent Emmanuel Akula brings us details of this report.
After the recent incident where irate youths went on rampage in Ukum local government area of Benue State, people of the area have continued to count their losses. Worst hit by this unfortunate incident was the Chief of Staff to the Benue State Governor, Paul Biam, whose personal property was destroyed along with government facilities. In a spirit of solidarity, his principal, the governor, is leading appointees in his government to identify with one of their own. Governor earlier, who again stresses his government's resolve to ensure the return of peace in the state, particularly in Benue Northeast, also known as Sankara Axis, describes the attacks on the Chief of Staff as unfortunate, assuring him of his government's support. He expresses hope that the Judicial Commission of Inquiry will bring forth recommendations to assist his government address insecurity in the area.
Feel bad. We're saddened. He came over so that he will know that an injury to him is an injury to all of us. We sympathize with him. It's our prayer and continued intensified efforts that will bring the culprits to book, and nothing stops the local government from flourishing and stabilizing.
The Chief of Staff, Mr. Paul Biam, sees the governor's visit as reassuring to his family in such a moment of trial.
And we thank His Excellency for creating time to do what he has just done. It has ignited some confidence for us and given us hope that indeed we have a father who in this time of need is up to it, and we are grateful for this visit.
Recall that protesters on July 3, 2024 destroyed personal property of the Chief of Staff in Zakibiam, Ukum local government area. Emmanuel Akula, Benuetv Vision News, Makudi.
Residents of Benue State, particularly Makudi, the state capital, say they will not join the ongoing protest across the country because of the performance of Governor Hyacinth earlier. Benue television correspondent sampled the people's views while monitoring the state capital, Makudi. This report. Apologize, will not be able to bring you that report now. Moving on, Benue Television Corporation has joined the family of Toji from Kwande local government area to announce the death of Philip Toji. Philip Toji passed away on Saturday, the 3rd of August 2024 from ill health at a public hospital in Makudi, the Benue state capital. Until his death, Philip Toji was program producer in the program directorate of Benue Television. A statement by management of the corporation, as released by the family, says Philip will be laid to rest on Monday, August 11, 2024, at his family compound in Kwande local government area. He is survived by 2 brothers and a sister. The death of Benue Television Corporation staff Philip Toji, who passed away at the weekend, is described as shocking. The Director General of the corporation, Dr. Patience Achapekyo, gave the indication while consoling relatives of the departed staff during a condolence visit to his family residence in Makudi on Monday. Dorcas Chia has the report.
Family, friends and well-wishers have continued to pay condolence visit to Philip's residence here in Makudi ever since the news of his demise broke out Saturday, the 3rd of August 2024. On Monday morning, Director General Benue Television Corporation, Dr. Patience Achapekyo, leads some management staff to the residence to condole with the family in the trying moment.
We are very sorry for what has befell your family. This is a big loss to you, but I don't know whether to say it's a bigger one to us.
She describes Philip as a very critical, hardworking and intelligent staff who always delivered on his part of the job. She expresses deep sympathy to the family over his demise, assuring that the corporation will try to stand with the family as much as possible during this difficult period.
I can't overemphasize the importance of his presence among us, the many things he does. Currently, he's working on some projects that, as of today, we are not sure those projects will continue.
The elder brother to the deceased, Mr. Timothy Toji, acknowledges the show of solidarity from his brother's former head and colleagues, saying the visit was encouraging. Mr. Toji says his brother Philip lived a good life while on earth and hopes he rests well with the Lord.
He was the one who actually was like me. Me, I left the music thing, was trying to do DJ, showbiz and all that. And later on, so this is wasting my time, let me further my education. But he took it to a level, still completed his education. What he does now, I'll have to learn all over again. The rest of my siblings, everybody abandoned it at a very early age. It was just Philip and I that took it to a level, but I still gave up and went along with it till what he's doing now was what he actually told himself. Then when we were kids, I want to be in the studio, I want to work. So, to Me, I feel God knows why.
Accompanying the Director General on this visit were heads of directorates and some administrative staff. Dorcas Chia, Benue Television News, Makudi.
May the fifth soul of Philip Toji rest in perfect peace. Amen. Residents of Benue State, particularly Makudi, the Benue State capital, say they will not join the ongoing protest across the country because of the performance of Governor Hyacinth earlier. Benue Television correspondent sampled people's views while monitoring the state capital, Makudi. The report.
Saturday marked day 3 of the ongoing nationwide protest by Nigerians to draw the attention of government to the current hardship being experienced in the country. Makudi, the Benue State capital, remains calm and peaceful. A visit to some popular streets revealed that normal business activities continue without any incident. Some of the residents react to the state of affairs concerning the protest, say they have chosen not to participate in the ongoing exercise as a mark of respect and support to the administration of Governor Hyacinth earlier. However, many are lamenting the present cost of living in Nigeria and calling for urgent action to reduce the hardship on families.
It's a hardship for town, but we are seeing the youth governance in Benue. I think that's one reason why people are not interested in going out for the protest.
Things are very high, but in Benue State, I am happy because our governor is doing us well. So no matter how tough it is, I am happy because the governor is making things to happen.
Governor Alia has in the last few days applauded the organized labor, unions, groups and the entire people of the state for heeding to his call not to join the nationwide protest, assuring them that he will do more for the state.
And let me then quickly thank the Benue citizenry for the maturity they have displayed and for honoring our call for everyone, the organized labor, the studentship, the market women, the Okada, the Keke, all the civil servants and everyone in the state to see reason with me on why there is no need for any one of us to join anything called protest.
Meanwhile, the ongoing nationwide protest, which began on August 1 and is to end on August 10, 2024, has registered restiveness in some states, leading to loss of lives and injuries to protesters. Emmanuel Akula, Benuetv Vision News, Makudi.
Many thanks, Emmanuel. We'll take a break now. We'll come back with more stories. To stay. Welcome. A Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Sanitex Global Nigeria Limited, Comrade Nicholas Mlomo, has awarded scholarship to 141 Benue State University students. The awards, aimed at encouraging students in their academic journey, took place at State University Social Science Hall in Makudi, the Benue State capital. The report.
As a way of giving back to the society and serving as an encouragement to other students, Managing Director of Sanix Global Services Nigerians Limited, Comrade Nicholas Mlumun, who is also a student, has reached out to 141 of his fellows in the State University. It is his first edition of the scholarship scheme, targeted at undergraduates and postgraduates in Benue State. During the flag off, Comrade Mlumun says his motivation arises from the experiences of his earlier days of struggling to develop himself academically. He hopes that the scholarship will encourage and aid the beneficiaries in their academic pursuits.
This decision was born out of my personal experience when I enrolled in a higher institution, the University of Agriculture, now Sanwo and Taka University in Makudi. I went through untold hardship amidst multidimensional academic challenges. This hardship became unbearable and I had to drop out of the university in the 2014-2015 academic session. When I was leaving the institution, I entered in my room and prayed to the Almighty God to give me money so that one day I will appreciate or support those who are in need.
Some guests describe Comrade Mlumu as a determined young man of vision who is serving as a beacon of light for others.
If we encourage people, the younger one, the younger generation, it is better to give them an education now that they can protect the future than giving them data to insult politicians. Tenure of politicians will end, but there is no end to intellectual tenure.
And the young man of 30 years is doing this. I think we need to give him a big hand.
What baffles me is the mind, the audacity, the willingness, the zeal, the joy and the passion to assist, to give out when we don't even have much.
All of us sitting here begins to think of what we will give back to society. Friends, I think we will go far.
Some beneficiaries express appreciation to Comrade Mlumu, saying his kind gesture serves as an encouragement to them to continue to push forward.
Yeah, I'm so happy because there are lots of students, more than 4,000 students that registered, that applied for this scholarship scheme. But I just thank God. I'm so grateful to God and also to the convener that I'm a part of this scholarship scheme.
I'm highly impressed, at the same time appreciative of this kind gesture. I feel motivated by this selfless service, and it is indeed a rare privilege for me to work harder.
The philanthropist, through his organization, Sanix Global, this edition presents 20,000 naira each to the beneficiaries. The organization has so far provided free support for hundreds of vulnerable Benue citizens with scholarships, ensured payment of hospital bills, and rebuilding of bridges in some villages in Benue Northeast area.
Thank you, National. The Nigerian police force has arrested 31 persons for producing and distributing Russian flags and calling for anarchy. Describing the actions as treason, Force Public Relations Officer ACP Muyiwa Dijobi said 30 persons were arrested in Kaduna, while one person who was recruiting persons for distribution of the flags was arrested in Kano. Adejobi said that as at Monday, the number of persons arrested who, according to him, are not protesters but criminal elements and rioters in connection with the End Bad Governance protest are 873, up from 861 at the weekend. He spoke during the joint press briefing of spokespersons of security and response agencies at the headquarters of the Department of State Services, DSS. The police spokesman stated that those arrested so far across the country are criminally minded persons, looters, engaged in criminal offences such as vandalization and destruction of public and critical infrastructure. Speaking on allegations of using live bullets against the protesters as alleged at the MKO Abiola Stadium, ACP Adejobi said the police and sister security agencies have operated in line with the rules of engagement while managing the protest. He said using tear gas against protesters when they resort to violence is allowed anywhere in the world. He added that the presence of law enforcement agents was not to harass or intimidate anybody, but to protect the nation's assets. The Kano state government on Monday disclosed its plan to set up a commission of inquiry to investigate those behind the killings and looting of public buildings in the state during the nationwide End Bad Governance protests. Governor Abba Yusuf's spokesman Sanusi Bature said in a statement that the probe panel will ascertain the root causes of the killings and destruction. Bature said Kano residents and the state government are counting huge losses, including loss of lives and property, to the supposed peaceful protests on Thursday. He stated that many were reportedly killed while others sustained gun injuries in a post-demonstration clash between hoodlums and armed security personnel in the state. He disclosed that no fewer than 632 suspects have been arrested in Kano for vandalizing public buildings across the state. Bature said the suspects who were arrested during the protests have been arraigned before various courts in Kano, the state capital. He emphasized the state government's commitment to maintaining peace and order, warning that those found guilty of vandalizing would be prosecuted. He added that the state government's plan to provide a massive training program for youth in various trades to promote self-sufficiency. The Kano State Security Council, led by Governor Ubasani, has imposed a 24-hour curfew on the metropolitan cities of Kaduna and Zaria and their environs. This decision followed a review of the security situation in the state, which revealed that the ongoing protests had been hijacked by criminal elements engaging in looting and the destruction of private and public property. In a statement on Monday, the overseeing Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Arwan, advised citizens to remain indoors while security forces work to maintain safety and security. Arwan said the curfew would be reviewed as necessary. He urged citizens to cooperate with the security forces and report suspicious activities to appropriate authorities. Let's now join Paul Kyungun for the latest from the world of sports. Over to you, Paul.
Greetings and welcome to Sports News. I am Paul Kimun, delighted to have you join us. The Nigeria female basketball team, the Tigers, made history at the Paris 2024 Olympics, qualifying for the last 8 of the women's event. They recorded a remarkable 79-70 victory over a strong Canadian team who are ranked number 5 in the world. The Tigers also become the first ever African team to reach the quarterfinals of the basketball event at the Olympics. In an impressive display of skill and determination, Nigeria's junior Tigers secured their 3rd consecutive victory at the FIBA Africa Under-18 basketball qualifiers in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. They triumphed over the host nation with a score of 70-60. Earlier in the tournament, the junior Tigers defeated Ghana 72-47 and overpowered Liberia 82-49. The match against Côte d'Ivoire showcased the remarkable talent and resilience of Coach Humphrey Fobora Onyebo's team. This victory has earned them a spot to represent FIBA Zone 3 in the finals of the FIBA Africa Under-18 basketball tournament scheduled for later this year in South Africa. Nigeria, already a proud holder of 7 Under-18 titles, aims to advance to their 12th final round and secure the 8th championship. The South African finals will also serve as a qualifying event for the FIBA Under-19 World Championship. In other news, Nigeria's Favour Philly has advanced to the semi-finals of the women's 200-meter after a stellar performance in Heat 6, clocking a season best time of 22.24 seconds. Her time ranked second overall, surpassing Great Britain's Dina Archer-Smith and Gina Bass-Butaye. Additionally, Samuel Ogazi has achieved a new personal best of 44.50 seconds in the men's 400 meters, securing an automatic spot in the semi-finals at the Paris Olympics. Ogazi is the first Nigerian male to advance to the 400 semi-finals in 24 years. He finished second in his heat, with the US Quincy Hall taking first place. That concludes today's sport update. We now return to the studio for the rest of the news. I am Paul Kugun and thanking you for tuning in.
Thank you, Paul, for the update. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll bring you news on the international scene. Good to have you back. You're still watching Benue Television News at 7. And now 4 stories in the international scene. Mali has announced it is severing diplomatic ties with Ukraine, accusing a senior official of having admitted Kyiv's role in a defeat that killed dozens of mercenaries from Russia's Wagner Group and Malian soldiers. The northern Tuareg rebels say they killed at least 84 mercenaries and 47 Malian soldiers over 3 days of fighting late last month in the north of the West African country, in what appeared to be Wagner's heaviest defeat since it stepped into the conflict 2 years ago. A spokesman of Ukraine's military intelligence agency, GUR, Andrei Yusov, told newsmen that the Malian rebels had received all the information needed to carry out the operation against the fighters he described as Russian war criminals. Mali said it learned with deep shock that Yusov had admitted Ukraine's involvement in attack by armed groups that resulted in the death of members of the Malian defense and security forces. Mali also cited comments by Ukraine's ambassador to Senegal, Uriel Pivoravo, who was summoned by Senegal over a video on social media in which Pivoravo supported the attack in Mali. This week, Russian Minister of Foreign Affairs Sergei Lavrov reaffirmed his support for Bamako in a telephone call with his Malian counterpart Abdoulaye Diop. The West African nation's military seized power in a 2020 coup and has made it a priority to retake the country from separatist and hardline groups linked to Al-Qaeda. They have also moved closer to Russia, and Wagner has been operating in Mali since late 2021, replacing French troops and international peacekeepers. Bangladesh's Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has resigned and fled the country following weeks of deadly demonstrations against her government. The removal of Hasina on Monday followed weeks of deadly protests and appears to have averted the threat of further bloodshed. The focus now moves to who will control the South Asian country. In an address to the nation, Army Chief General Waqar Uzzaman announced that an interim government will now run Bangladesh, calling for calm. Hasina, who ruled the country for close to 2 decades, boarded a military helicopter on Monday as huge crowds ignored a national curfew to storm her palace in Dhaka. Her resignation came after nearly 300 people died in weeks of protests that authorities sought to quash. On Monday, huge crowds stormed the Prime Minister's palace, preventing Hasina from delivering a speech. According to police authorities, at least 20 more people were killed during violence in Dhaka as protesters stormed buildings. Despite the violence, by early afternoon, the mood on the streets had turned to one of celebration after the news of the Premier's departure spread. Bangladesh has suffered many years of military rule in the 1970s and 80s, following the war that secured its independence from Pakistan in 1971, and many are wary of the danger of a return. Crisis Group's expert on Bangladesh, Thomas Kane, suggested that the army must now ensure security and stability in order to allow the interim government the chance to start the task of rebuilding democracy. And finally, Bulgaria is heading for its 7th parliamentary elections in 3 years after the last of 3 political parties tapped by President Rumen Radev to form a coalition government failed due to lack of support. The Balkan country has been plagued by revolving door governments since anti-corruption protests in 2020 helped topple a coalition led by the center-right populist GERB party. The small populist ITN party, which was tasked with forming a new government by Radev a week ago, returned its mandate on Monday. In talks with other parties, it was unable to persuade 121 of the 240 lawmakers required to support the formation of a government. After a meeting with Radev, chairman of the ITN parliamentary group, Toshko Yordanov, told newsmen that the parties were unable to find common ground on forming a new government. Radev must now appoint a caretaker prime minister and has days to call another snap parliamentary election. GERB, currently the largest party in parliament, and the reformist We Continue the Change PP had each failed to form a stable coalition after the inconclusive June 8 elections. According to political commentators, Bulgaria, the European Union's poorest member state and one of its most corrupt, needs a period of stable government to improve the flow of EU funds into its creaking infrastructure. Well, that's about the size of our package for this evening. The top stories just before we go. The Benue state government to upgrade a Parakou stadium to international standards. Kaduna state government has imposed a 24-hour curfew on Kaduna and Zaria metropolis. And on the international scene, we told you that Mali has severed diplomatic ties with Ukraine over Kyiv's alleged role in deadly attack. Many thanks for your attention. My name is Jude Alaki. Have a peaceful evening.